There's just been a lot of news in the paper at the moment about the cricket and the pay dispute that they've had, and that's sort of going on as well with the NRL and what they're calling percentage of revenue sharing, which essentially means that whatever the game makes, the players are guaranteed a percentage of that share. So the cricketers have only just signed that heads of agreement now, and all of that's been put to bed, and that's meant there's been a significant pay increase for not just the top cricketers, the top male cricketers, but also the female cricketers, which is great. The NRL are sort of trying to get a similar thing going at the moment. Your ex-players, what do you think is a fair way to do it? If the game's expanding and their revenue's expanding, should the players be rewarded the same way?
You don't go to a Michael Jackson concert to watch, all these backup dancers. You go there to watch Michael Jackson. You go to State of Origin.
That must have been in the mid-2000s.
It was, yeah. And you just don't go to watch everyone else. You go to watch 34 players go absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
And bleed for their state and bleed for their country and bleed for their club and stuff like that. You don't go there to watch all the back noise, but somehow the money just keeps getting distributed wrong. I think every year the profit that, I'm paraphrasing here, the profit, it's like 60 million, 70 million profit a year. Don't quote me on that.
Stats, man.
Don't quote me on that. But I mean, like if you're paying players now $35,000 a year times 17, 35,000 a game, it's still less than 2% of their revenue.
Yeah.
So it's just unfair.
Yeah.
Like give us 10%. Then players are getting $100,000 a game, and it's worth playing.
Yeah.
A lot of play, and then you get the old guard going, I'd play Origin for free. Well, everything's relevant. It's not the fucking 80s.
Yeah.
Everything's changed. Prices have changed. The price of living has changed. Everything, like you can whinge about it all day, but at the end of the day, what the game is making is X, Y, and Z, and we're not getting half of it, quarter of it, a tenth of it, where we should be.
I don't think it's as easy for the NRL to go, right, we're just going to give money to the players and stuff like that. It's not just black and white.
100%.
It needs to be spread across a broad
I'm just mainly
spectrum.
talking about Origin.
Yeah, I know that, Origin, but the NRL need to get it right, and they need to share the money in the right avenues and to help the game build. These players that are playing Origin, they deserve money. I'm not saying that, but they are the top line players within their clubs, and they're earning big money. They do need to make money, but do you go give them 50 and 60?
Do you get paid as the 18th man, Ren?
They should have paid me as the 18th man because I was the entertaining
player.
Let's talk about that
That's
story.
my own story.
Tell me about your Origin experience, man.
I don't remember it, mate.
Come on.
What do you mean? It's
what happened?
From you. Well, I got brought
William,
into camp.
would you like to tell the story? You were involved in Rennie's 18th man duties. Rennie's been called in last minute.
I was a complete professional the whole time.
Well, it was quite funny. I mean, you can just pull me up whenever you want.
How have we gone from money debate to my Origin
Because
experience?
it was funny as hell.
18th man.
He was. We're talking about 18th man.
They
Does
should
the
pay
18th man get paid as much as the starting player?
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
the best segue ever.
Because I help these players prepare to either win or lose. You know what? I take the piss out of myself.
Will, would you like to explain
we played on a Friday night, and then obviously the Bulldogs played on the Friday night, and then the 18th man, the 18th man gets called in. The 18th man gets called in on Monday. Rennie has been out socialising for a couple of nights, and gets brought in on Monday. And we go to and this is when it's all business. It's all business from Monday to Wednesday. It's all business. So Ren comes in. He's a little bit dusty, I'd say. Tries to get straight under my wing and just try and hide. Comes into the movies, dead set asleep, like straight asleep. Shirt off up the back, and me and Gaz and a few other players just going, "Is Ren all right?" Coach comes up to me, Graham Murray, God bless his soul, goes, Is your mate Rennie all right? I said, mate, he's sweet. He's been sick. He's been sick all week. Just let him sleep.
Mentally preparing.
Just let him sleep. So it's just all week. And then on the Tuesday captain's run, Luke Bailey goes down with a calf injury. So this is where shit gets real. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to go to the front row. Ren's gonna be back in the back row, and I'm going, wow. I said, I don't know if he's ready or not. Because I knew
definitely wasn't ready.
Definitely 100% wasn't ready. So he goes. So Tell the story about the visualization. This is a Gus Gould thing.
So I'm already panicking.
This is a Gus Gould thing before he retired as an Origin coach. You'd go and find a patch of grass where you think you'd visualise where you'd be in a game. A lot of backs go in the goal try line. I was hanging on in the middle like an idiot. Fullbacks hang here, blah 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 blah. Where was Rennie?
Rennie, where were you?
I was on the sideline.
So we're taking it so serious. It's a serious part of the game. He's
I was taking it serious.
And I was looking at him going, fuck, Ren's on the sideline taking the piss, actually laughing. And I'm sitting there trying to be serious and stuff like that. And this is after like Bull just went down with his calf. And I'm like, he's still going on the bench.
You were causing the physio too.
I looked at Bull and said, mate, are you right to play? He goes, yeah, I should be right. I said, you fucking better be. I said, because I don't think our 18th man's ready to roll.
I actually do want to just go back to the cricketers for a second because it's interesting when you look at it. So even 10, 15 years ago, you had the top line cricketers who were winning everything. They couldn't lose a game. And they're getting paid at the top level like 250 grand from Cricket Australia. That's their top contract. Now you've got blokes on, because of this revenue sharing, they're getting 1.2 as a base contract, then they earn money from, like Warner and blokes like that, they're earning $5 or $6 million a year now. So when you go through that pay sort of dispute that they've had, and all of a sudden the rest of Australia's look at them going, hang on, you're earning $1.5 million a year to $6 million a year. What are you whinging about? You know, from a outsider's perspective or from someone watching the game who, you know, and Australians love their sport, you know, and we've got a wide range of people in this country, anywhere from, you know, lower income, lower socioeconomic to high, and they're looking at blokes, the lower blokes are looking at it and going, well, hang on, I work my ass off for not that much money and you blokes are complaining about that. I mean, from that perspective, it doesn't always look good, does it?
No, but it's all relative, as I said. I mean, like, you can whinge about money, you like just say what, you know, we were earning 10 years ago to a front rower that's earning $1 million now. Like, it's just like, well, that's just the way the game is, and the way the game is making money. It's just like, well, you just want a fair slice of the pie. Yeah. So that's why you're getting these players on, you know, 1.2 mil, 1.5, you know, the $2 million a year now. You know what I mean? Like, it's all relative, and I think you got to understand that. I mean, like guys like Shane Warne and all the Glenn McGrath and all these guys that were signing $400,000 deals back then, they're still reaping the rewards now. Because they're Glenn McGrath and Shane Warne, they're doing commentary and all this kind of stuff. Not everybody can be Shane Warne. Not everyone can be Andrew Johns. Andrew Johns was never the highest paid player in the NRL, yet he was the best player in the NRL. You know, so it's all relative. You know, now he's going to be on Channel 9 for the next 20 years. Not everybody can be that. You know, so get as much money as you can. As much money as you can, invest it well, be smart with it, and get along with your life, because not everybody can be blessed enough to go straight into the media, go straight into business, all this kind of stuff. Because, as you said, lower socioeconomical players, or blue collar sort of players like ourselves that weren't brought up with so much money. You know, you need it's all relative. You know what I mean? So it's just,
I don't know of any other industry really where they constantly talk about people's salaries too. Like, I mean, you get the odd CEO, they're earning $7 million a year, you know, Energy Australia, this, that and the other, the top CEOs, and people bag them because they're earning too much money there. But other than sports people, like the average person on the street, no one knows what they earn and it's not an issue. So why is it that sports people get
it's just the way you should know that. I mean,
should there be some privacy about it? Or?
Well, you have a look at soccer players, NBA players, NFL players, all through America, any sport. I mean, their salaries is just put straight on Front Street. Yeah. You know? We're pretty lucky. Like the NRL the clubs don't put exactly what money you're earning. You know,
there be some privacy though.
Well, there should be with the salary, but I mean, like, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's just not the way it is. No one gives a shit about like a CEO, but I mean, because if life was about CEOs and running businesses, everybody would care. But it's not. It's about sport, and people love sport throughout the world. So they just have this God-given right to go, you know what? You're in our business because you're in the public eye.
And beanies like that aren't cheap.
$2 beanie.
Is it?
Yeah.
Man knows a bargain.
Yeah, can get one.